Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Surfer's Journey. Today's episode is all about a recent experience I had at a wave pool here in Australia, Urban Surf in Melbourne. Now while I'd absolutely recommend that everyone has a crack at a wave pool, it's a lot of fun and you will definitely have a good time and your surfing will improve. But there are a few things that I wish I was aware of before I went there to surf with no gear. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of those things in this video today.
This was my second time visiting the wave pool, and the first time I came, I had my own boards, I had my own wetsuits, and I was very comfortable in the gear that I had, and I knew what to expect and I knew how it would react underneath my feet. But on this trip I wasn't able to actually bring my own gear, so I had to hire a wetsuit and hire a board from what they had there. And the first thing that really stood out at this point when I went to look at what boards I could actually hire was that their selection was quite minimal. There really weren't that many options of boards to ride. In the end I was lucky to find this board here, which had a similar leaderage to what I usually surf, was a similar length and dimensions as well. And because it was probably heavier and had lots of repairs, this board probably didn't perform as well as it used to once upon a time. Another thing you should be aware of if you hire a board here is that there are some big prices to pay if the board gets damaged while you're using it. Now before you use it, you've got plenty of opportunity to inspect the board and take photos to make sure that you don't get caught out by any previous damages that have already happened. But in the unlikely event that you do damage the board somehow, might not be your own fault because there's plenty of people surfing and it can be hard to get out of their way sometimes. And don't forget that you've also got a big cement wall right next to where you're surfing, so the chances of you damaging a board are probably a lot higher than they would be if you were surfing in the ocean. Now off the top of my head I can't actually remember what those exact prices were, but I do know that they're high. So just be aware that if you damage that board, you're certainly going to have to pay for it. There's no doubt that if you're in my situation and you rocked up to the pool and you didn't have your own gear, well yes, you will be able to find something, I'm sure, that you can surf on, and if you've got no other choice, then of course you would do that. But if you could, I would definitely recommend that you take something that you're used to, take your own board, and take your wetsuit. But as we all know as surfers, when we jump on a new board, we've got to take time to get used to that board, how it feels, how it reacts underneath our feet. Remember that when you're surfing the wave pool, you're going to have a 1 hour session where you might get at least 10 waves in that hour. So you don't want to be wasting waves because you're trying to figure out how this board reacts and what it's going to do underneath your feet. But unfortunately, that's what you're going to do if you hire a board. So again, I think that it's worth taking your own board that you're familiar with, so you don't have to waste time getting used to a board and waste waves, wasting sections, when if you're on your own board, you know what's going to happen, you know what to expect, you can make the most out of every wave and every section that the pool presents you with. Now you might be wondering, well, why not just hire one of their wetsuits? It makes life a lot easier because you don't have to carry around a wet wetsuit in your bags. Now the wetsuit that I was given for this session definitely kept me warm, and there's no doubt about that. But the thought of how many different bodies have been in this wetsuit is a little bit off-putting. And in the future I'll definitely be taking my own wetsuit just for that nice peace of mind that it's your own wetsuit. Again, if you have no choice, you're going to have a wetsuit to keep you warm, and it allowed me to surf the pool at 11 PM at night, so I can't complain about that.
Surfing in a wave pool is a lot of fun and I'd absolutely recommend it to anyone. But there are a few things that you should be aware of before you go, especially if you're going there and you're not going to take your gear. And guys, thanks for watching the video today. I hope that what I've mentioned will help you if you're planning a surf trip to the pool, and hopefully it will help you make the most out of that session on your own equipment and your own gear. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what else you'd like to see in the comments. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the water.